Dreams with deadlines on this episode of Unlock Your Wealth Today. Your life fully invested. Welcome to Unlock Your Wealth Today. Your life fully invested. I'm your purveyor of prosperity and host, Heather Wagenhals. And on this episode, I'm making success simple by giving you the third key in our Keys to Riches financial philosophy. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in. And if you are visiting for the first time, welcome to the Unlock Your Wealth TV show. The Keys to Riches financial philosophy is a baker's dozen of financial concepts that teach you how to think like the rich and be in control of your own money. It also gives you specific techniques to create or fix your credit, eliminate debt, save and invest, all while transforming your current financial habits into healthy money management skills. And we do this one key at a time, 1 week at a time here at the Unlock Your Wealth television show. And we are on our third key. This is Dreams with Deadlines. And this is a very fun key, and it's our key of possibility. Now, when we began this, we talked about our 3-5 financial strategy that we use here. And it's one of the simplest financial strategies you could ever probably use to manage money effectively and at least create your financial plan for building wealth. And what you do is you answer 3 questions and you address 5 areas of concern. Those 3 questions we've already begun the process of, because today's key addresses the second question. The first we did last week with Take Action, Make Assessment. This week with Dreams with Deadlines, we're addressing the second question. So the first question is, where am I? And that is your current financial snapshot. Where am I going has to do with your goal achievement strategy. And then our third question we answer is, what's the difference? And this is our accountability and measurement tool. We won't address the 5 areas of concern because that's on next week's key anyway. So I'll save you and I'll hook you into tuning in again next week. So where are we going? So this is our financial planning tool. And a lot of financial planners like to do life planning and they like to focus out 20 years, but I like to go in a nearer term of say 10 years, because if you're 20 years old and you're in your 20s, you probably can't see past the next 20 minutes with what's going on. And if you are one of our seasoned citizens, as the case may be, you may not feel like you have the life expectancy to make it another 20 years. And so right now, capitalizing on the moment might be your priority. So in either case, I prefer to use the 10-year mark. So we'll start at 10 years, and then we're going to do something pretty amazing. We're going to do our financial plan the way the brain and our behavior work, because it's likely that we will achieve it in a greater satisfaction and degree if we do it this way than, say, typical goal-setting strategies. And the reason why I say that is goal setting in and of itself is an achievement. Taking your hopes, dreams, desires, and concretizing them onto a piece of paper is an achievement, because most of us have an idea of what we want, but it's usually in that abstract sense. It's not concrete. And that's why we can't fully engage in it. And that's why we're less likely to achieve it. So when we get goals set, and that's what we're talking about, goal setting, well, we've just achieved that little milestone of concretizing our ideas. And so we kind of fall off the wagon with that. So we have a full goal achievement strategy here. And that's why there are 3 questions that we answer in our 3-5 financial strategy. So in this one, we're going to set near-term 10-year goals. We're going to figure out, where would I like to be? And I know if you're 20, you don't know what's going on in the next 20 minutes, but at least if we have a target to be shooting at, we will have an accountability tool and a measuring device to determine what our life path is on. Because without any goal in mind or any direction, we wander aimlessly. And that's when we get the lackluster performance results. So we want to make sure that we're focusing forward and we have a target to hit. Even if we don't hit the target, that's okay. But as long as we have a direction to be moving in, we can move forward and do it with more purpose than just aimless misdirection or kind of going with the flow and wandering. As long as life is short. And because life moves at a quick pace, we don't want to get caught 10, 20, 30 years from now saying, wow, all my friends are ahead of me. Maybe I should have made a plan. So we're going to take advantage of some simple principles here in our Keys to Riches financial philosophy to help us create better goals and more achievable goals and a strategy to get through that. We're going to do a 30,000-foot view here on today's show, but if you would like a more drilled down version, I invite you to my Entrepreneur's Edge website at makingsuccesssimple.com. Subscribe to the newsletter and you will know every time that we post a new episode for you to learn more great resources on how you can develop that professional edge you young entrepreneurs need to succeed in today's competitive marketplace. So the way we're going to start this goal achievement strategy is we're going to look out 10 years and say, what do we want our lives to look like? And we're going to identify them as concretely as possible. What does it look like, sound like, smell like, taste like, feel like? Who are we hanging out with? What are we doing? What's in our environment? And then we're going to plan backwards because that has a dollar amount attached to it. If you're a homeowner, well, that costs money. So you'll have an idea of how much that'll cost and something that you can work toward. If there's a particular car or a trip or an educational goal, whatever it may be, you can assign a number to it. It may not be perfect, but at least you can assign a number that you can start working back from. And we're going to do this plan backwards. So we're going to go out 5 years, or we're going to go out 10 years and figure out where we are, but then we're going to back it up to 5 because we want to be at least halfway there. And so now we can take and look at what does halfway between where I am now and where I want to be look like. And then we're going to do this incredible idea I got from a sales training workshop that I attended about 30 years ago. And it was a way to sell people high dollar items where you would typically cringe if somebody wanted to sell you a water heater for your hot water that was solar, which is what I did when I was 15. I sold solar hot water heaters over the phone. And nobody wanted to pay 15, 20 grand. And in the 80s, that was a ginormous amount of money. Cars were cheaper than that. But because that number is not palatable, you're like, I don't want unlimited hot water for 15, 20 grand. We used this tool. It was a sales device, and it was called Reduce It to the Ridiculous. So you might balk at a $20,000 hot water heater price, but if I said that you could take unlimited hot water showers for just 63 cents a day, what? Now that captures your interest. So if we can use this tool as a selling device, what could be the possibilities if we used it as a savings device? We can just change this tool. And so now what we're going to do in our plan backwards, we're not just going to break it down to, 5-year goals or annual goals or even monthly goals. We're going to make it so silly and so small, the number we need, that we could do it every day, that there's no reason why we couldn't do it every day. And this is one of the reasons why it works so well with the way the brain and behavior work, because we have this first layer of our brain, our CERT method for information processing, if you will. Survive, then emote and remember, and then think. So we're not thinking logically, we're thinking instinctively. And so when something becomes uncomfortable, like the idea of saving $20,000 is like, oh my God, what am I going to have to give up to do that? That's a lot of money to save. Even for people that make good money, that's a lot of money to save. But what if you could just save it at a rate of 63 cents a day? Oh my gosh, right? You probably flush more water down the toilet at 63 cents a pop than you ever would trying to save that 20 grand. And so now it seems, oh gosh, well, 63 cents, I could totally do that. It doesn't set you instinctively responding to your environment going, oh my gosh, where it's uncomfortable, and now we don't want to do it. Because the challenge that we have with fear is it frightens us, and it's because our survival brain is actually trying to protect us from being uncomfortable. But what I learned in sales was probably the most profound thing that I learned about life and goal achievement, and that you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. But on the surface, that sounds great, right? Our conscious mind says, yes, I accept that. That makes sense. Move toward what scares you, because then you can eliminate that fear by making it a known quantity. It goes from unknown to known. So it goes from scary to manageable. Even if it's unpleasant, as long as you know what it is, you can do it. And that key is that you have to get this idea of savings from at least this painful thing down to something that's not even uncomfortable, that's neutral. 63 cents is a neutral dollar amount. So whatever your amount is as you work this backwards, then you can figure it out. Your goals also have to have SMART assessments to them. They have to be small, which fits this reduce it to the ridiculous criteria. Measurable, which works with our accountability phase. It has to be achievable by your own hand, meaning winning the lottery isn't a financial strategy because it's not up to you to determine whether that happens. It has to be realistic. Can you save $1 million? Absolutely. Is it going to happen by tomorrow if you've never made $1 million? Not really realistic. So we have to apply reason and critical thinking and come up with a realistic time frame to achieve this, and then we have to assign that time frame. That's the T in the SMART goal. So it has to meet this SMART test. And then we not only have to make this goal something that goes from being painful of something that we want to avoid, we need to make it now very palatable, something that drives us toward it. We have to satiate it with all this kind of emotion that you spring out of bed 30 seconds before that alarm clock rings because your internal clock says it's time to chase my achievements today. And that's what we want to do. We want to focus on achieving. We don't want to focus on goals because everybody focuses on goals, but goals are an entity in and of themselves. But the achievement is the accomplishing of that goal. It's one step after the goal, and that's where we want to be focusing forward, is focusing forward on that achievement. And then we want to be reinforcing this, and we want to keep it at the forefront of all that we do. And if we take these big, ginormous goals of being millionaires and break them down to something that's so ridiculous, there's no reason why we shouldn't be achieving it, then all we have to do is get up every day and do this little bit. Instead of having to do this whole ginormous amount of work, we just do this little bit of work. Each and every day, chipping away at our goals. Because life happens. And as long as life could be, life can be short, unexpectedly. And so we have to be savoring the moment and planning for the future at the same time. And I like to say that we have to have a divided focus. We have to have one eye on the prize and one eye on the process. And by having this divided focus, but having this dual focus, it allows us to achieve our goals and have satisfaction in this moment. Because right now is all we have. And we have to focus on the now as much as we have to focus on the later. Because remember, when later comes, guess what? It's now again, and we need to be able to make every day a cause for celebration. Because big goals aren't really big goals. Big goals are just the achievement of a series of little goals. And so if we focus on what's here and now and what we can do today to further our future, then we win on both accounts. So that's it for this week's key. Your key challenge for this week is that you need to go sit down and get in your highest resource state and think about what it is that you truly desire for yourself, where you want to be in the next 10 years, and apply these principles. If you would like to receive a free copy of this strategy, just DM me on Instagram or Facebook at Unlock Your Wealth, or our new entrepreneurship channel at Making Success Simple. Thank you so much for stopping by, and for more great resources, tools, information, and interviews to help you overcome your personal and professional challenges to get out of debt, achieve financial freedom, and live the life of your dreams right now today, just visit our website at unlockyourwealthtoday.com. I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today.
UnlockYourWealthToday.com is produced by Heather Wagenhals and the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation. UnlockYourWealthToday.com and its affiliates are copyrighted 2018 with all rights reserved. For more information on the Keys to Riches Financial Wellness Series, please visit our website at www.unlockyourwealthtoday.com.
No time to read the best-selling books for your business or industry? What if I told you you could enjoy the best and most meaningful parts of a book in about 12 minutes? Believe me, I'm Heather Wagenhals, and I'm making success simple by helping you learn on the go just like I do, with text, audio, and video summaries from your favorite best-selling books, and do it on the fly in less than 12 minutes with Steve Cunningham and Read It For Me. Join tens of thousands of leaders around the world, including yours truly, who use Read It For Me to learn the biggest ideas from the world's best leadership, sales, marketing, and personal development books in less than 12 minutes. All you have to do to begin reading best-selling books and enjoying your special rate for Unlock Your Wealth fans is visit unlockyourwealth.com/read it for me, or click on the link somewhere in this post. Learn on the go with text, audio, and video summaries from your favorite best-selling books, and do it on the fly in less than 12 minutes. Visit unlockyourwealth.com/read it for me and start your 12-minute reading journey now.